guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we're here for another one of our mass making sessions. We are up to week number 156, would you believe? So for anyone who doesn't watch my channel, we are rerunning previous weeks. So we are rerunning week number 56, week number 156. So what we are making today is these little fold out kind of pockets from one sheet of paper. Now I am going to use printables because that's what I have most of these days, but you could use scrapbook paper or anything else really. Now my paper is 200 GSM, so it's, you know, it's thicker than copy paper thickness, but it's not as thick as the really bulky sort of scrapbook paper. I'm just having a look to see if I've got any of the thick scrapbook paper kind of to hand. I haven't really, but you know, kind of the thick paper pads, they're okay for this, but you're going to end up with much bulkier pieces. So, you know, you might want to just kind of pick your pieces kind of carefully with regards to how thick. So this, I think, is quite a reasonable thickness because it's going to be sturdy enough, but it's also not going to make such bulky pieces, you know, that you're not going to want to be able to put them into a page because they're going to kind of bulk it out. So yeah, that's kind of that. So what you are going to need, you're going to need paper. Obviously, like I say, I'm using this. Now I am using A4 sheets. Now these particular pockets I have actually made from a scrapbook paper. So somewhere in my videos, this pocket is made with a scrapbook paper. And I don't think I cut it down particularly much. So, you know, you can definitely make them with a sort of 12 by 12 sheet, but they're just going to be a different shape. I have got scissors. I have got glue. I have got a thumb hole punch. I don't know whether you necessarily want a thumb hole punch, but you know, if you do, you could have that. I've got some hot glue and things for just in case, you know, when I want to kind of decorate up at the end. I have got my, you know, little card for my glue spreading. And then you're going to want a bone folder or scissor handles or something just to squish your item. You might want some distress ink and a blendy tool. And then, yeah, just anything that you like to actually decorate it up with afterwards. And I think that's pretty much it. So, yeah, let's get on and kind of show how we're going to make these. So, I'm going to bring in my first sheet of paper. So all we're going to do is, I'm not going to cut it down or anything. I'm going to use it exactly as the size it is, which in my case is A4, which is very similar to the US letter size. So I'm just going to fold it up like that. Fold it in half, squish it along the edge. So I'm folding it obviously, you know, along the lengthways. And then I'm going to fold it over this side on the, you know, the shorter edge. So basically you've kind of folded it into quarters now. And then when you unfold it, what we're going to do is we're going to make our pocket from one of these sections. So you just want to cut a section out. Now obviously I have tried to choose papers that it's not going to really matter too much which way up they are. This particular paper is from my Bird Rhapsody kit, so it won't matter which way up I use this. It's a kind of generic type pattern. So all I'm going to do now is cut off one of the quarters. So I'm going to just cut it in. Now I often don't really get on particularly brilliantly when I have to cut kind of along these folded lines, it's got to be said, but I'll do my best. So like that, and then just cut along here like that. Okay, now you can see I've made a terrible job there. It's gone completely wonky, so I'm just going to tidy that up a little bit, just here like that. Oops. Oh my goodness. Okay, right, and like that. Now it's up to you how you want your pocket piece to go, to be perfectly honest. So you can alter these around to suit yourself. You can have this piece in here and this is your flap, so your pocket would be here, you know, if you glued it down on two sides like that. You could have your pocket on this edge, So you would glue it on these two sides, and your pocket would be here and your flap would be here. You could have it here, you could have your pocket in there. So your flap, sorry, would be over there. So you really can kind of vary them however you like. For this particular one, I might have the pocket here, mainly because I've kind of mucked up this edge and made it such a wonky line. It's going to hopefully disguise it slightly if I actually put a thumb hole in. So I'm just going to try and neaten it up slightly more because it is absolutely awful. I'm so sorry if you can hear noise. It's Bank Holiday Monday as I'm filming this, which I know I've said this before. Bank holiday over here is, you know, when everything's kind of closed, although most things are not closed anymore these days, but yeah, lots of things are closed. So everybody's at home. So if you can hear noise, that's my daughter kind of, you know, getting up and about and things. So I'm trying to film it before everyone's kind of up too much and awake. So that's that. And then all I'm going to do is just glue it down on this edge here and on this edge here, like that. Okay, and then we just, whoops, press that down like that. Now what I will do is probably then just go in with a brush and just coffee dye this bit here so that it's not glaring white. Of course, if you wanted to coffee dye it beforehand, you know, that would be fine too. So that's my little piece. And then what you've got is obviously your remaining piece of paper where you could then add another pocket. So for instance here, I'm going to just glue this on. And then I will just trim around it afterwards. I'm so sorry about my voice. I feel like I've actually come out with a bit of cold, which actually is a bit of a relief because I wasn't really feeling great yesterday. And yeah, it was all like a head cold, you know, where your head really is not feeling great at all. And yeah, so actually it's only now that I've come to talk that I kind of feel like, oh, I sound like I've got a cold actually. So yeah, I do apologise if my voice is sounding a little bit rubbish. Okay, so I'm just going to then snip this down here, like that, and obviously here. Okay, and then I'm just going to, oops, oh my goodness. Now what I should have done was, I've seen Rachel over at Roxy Creations, she's got this brilliant method of obviously putting any papers that are going to be lined up, like this for example, she would have put them together to punch her thumb holes, and then you know that they're exactly the right places. Should have done that, didn't really think to do that. So that's, yeah, that's kind of been done. But as you can see, I mean, you could now have this on your page this way up with your two pockets, or you could have it this way up, you know, with your two pockets. And of course you could then glue it in on, say, 3 sides and you'd have a top loading pocket, or same here, glue it in on 3 sides and you'd have a side loading pocket. So they're pretty cool, aren't they? And you can then just kind of, oops, not embellish it, but, you know, enhance it further by rounding your corners. I'll have to do these, you know, separately because I think it's just too thick to, oops, too thick to want to punch. Oh my goodness, I have obviously got no strength today. Oh, hold on. Oh, no strength there whatsoever. Okay. I'm going to have to cut that other one. I don't know what's going on with me, but yeah, clearly not strong enough to cut the corner, or punch the corner. So we'll just round it like that. Okay. There we go. That's it. That's all there is to them. So they're super nice, aren't they? So let's do another one. Obviously they're not rocket science or anything, so I mean they don't really kind of require, you know, too much explanation, but I'll just kind of run you through again because there are a few stages. So you're going to start with your paper, you know, your complete sheet. You're going to fold it up along the, you know, the lengthways like that. Okay, and squish that down. Okay, and then you're going to fold it over here like that. Okay. Okie dokie, let's decide which piece we want where. So I think I'm going to just snip this one out here. Could you wash that brush please, darling? Because I don't think you washed it when you used it and now it's dried up. So you're going to have to wash it quite thoroughly, aren't you? Well, I've showed you that the other day, didn't I?
It says lyrics press flows and I press flow.
Well, have you switched them on? Because that's all that there can be left to do, isn't it? Have they said connected? Are they charged? Well, that's all that there is then. Okay. So, I'm so sorry. My daughter's obviously in here now and wanting me to sort out her headphones for her tablet, and now she's just dropping things all over. So sorry about this. Okay. Right, there we go. So that I think I'm going to use as my flap. So, and this paper is from my Flying Tapestry kit. So for this one, I'm going to, I think, put the thumb hole in this way. Now, because I'm doing it this way, this is a 1-inch paper punch, circle punch. I'm going to use a bigger one. So let me just grab it. I'm going to use this, which is a 1.5-inch circle punch. So let's just go in there. Okay. Just because I thought that that would look, better kind of than a small one when it's that way round. So again, I've got my remainder of that paper, which I of course can just put here. Just going to punch that. Should probably line it up first, but yeah. Again, forgot to do that method that Rachel over at Roxy Creations uses, and I just so should have done. Perhaps what I can do is actually do it like this now. Yeah. So if I now put the circle in here, I should be able to see roughly where I've punched. Okay, just to make sure they're lined up. Oh, sorry. Right, so there we go. And again, can then just put that one down there. You don't even have to have a second pocket if you don't want to. I just kind of think, well, you've got that other sheet of paper left over now. So it's quite a nice use of that, that section that you cut out. You're not then wasting it or having kind of scraps left over. You're using an entire sheet of paper, which, it's quite good from a sort of being economical point of view, isn't it? So there, like that. I'm just going to trim this edge down because, again, have not made a very good job of cutting it. Okay. And just around there. Okay. Like that. Okie dokie. Right. And then just snip that off at the bottom. Like that. Okay, and then again, just fold that over at the top. And just like we did with the other one, we can just then round the edges. The rounding of the edges is obviously an optional stage. You don't have to round them. The other thing actually to bear in mind is you may need to trim this down slightly. If you're making A4 journals, obviously this is now this size of the page. So I'm just going to trim it down slightly. I will probably have to glue that in a bit more, but just slightly there. Just run a little extra glue down just in case. Just in case it's needed. Okay, it's doing all right. Obviously we didn't need to do that with the one that we did previously. because that one would go portrait rather than landscape. I hope that made sense. I don't know whether that waffly explanation really made sense for what I was meaning, but yeah, basically if you use your A4 page or A4 paper to actually, you know, make your pockets in the first place, just put a bit of glue down there. If you use A4 page to make your pages in the first place, then obviously what's happening is by folding this over to make our pockets, it's then the full size of the page. So that's why I'm saying, you know, you may have to trim this in slightly if you're planning on gluing this in rather than having it as a, you know, just a paper clipped in piece. So, you know, again, it's just kind of extra things to kind of keep in mind. So we'll just do another one. So this is just from my Cambridge Garden kit. So, I mean, to be honest, I've probably shown you through enough now, and we can just kind of now do a mass making sort of assembly line style mass make. So what I'm going to do is do all my folding and then like all my gluing in one stage. So we can just now relax, have a nice time, and yeah, just kind of chill out and yeah, have a catch up. So that one just folds more. So yeah, I hope everybody is having a good start to their week. Like I say, I'm filming this on the Monday. It's the bank holiday Monday. And yeah, I'm kind of probably a bit all over the place, I'm afraid, because we've been out for the day yesterday, just me and the children, and we didn't get back until about 9:30 last night, which, I mean, that's pretty late for me. I'm very much of a lightweight when it comes to late nights. Sorry, this was my butterfly musings kit, and this one is my birdhouse kit. So yeah, we had been out, and so I'm a little bit kind of thrown today, and like I say, I've woken up with this cold, which has just caused my brain to be in a bit of a sort of fog this morning. So yeah, I do apologise if I'm not quite with it. You know, and I'm still having a lot of stress, I'm afraid, from, you know, from my you know, financial kind of situation and things with the divorce. So yeah, I'm not kind of feeling myself, I'm afraid, but hopefully, you know, I will get more into the swing of it as we go along. So this is from my Precious Pups kit, and as you can see, obviously this has got a couple of dogs on it. So I'm hoping that we're going to be able to kind of somehow work this so that it's workable, if you see what I mean, even though it's got the dogs on there. We don't obviously want them upside down. So I'm thinking, if we do this, and whichever one we cut off, you know, we're going to have to cut a dog off, if you see what I mean. So yeah, hopefully that will then kind of balance it out. So just squish that one down and then just fold this over here. Okay. Okay, right, so for this one, obviously slightly more complicated because we have got to factor in the fact that it has got images. So let's just have a quick look. Trying to decide which way round to cut this off. So what we could do is have, oh no, that's then going to be upside down. So we're going to either have to have it this way round, or lose the dog. Sorry about this. I'm a bit thrown now as to which way this needs to be. I think I need to cut off this section, although then my dog's upside down. Perhaps I need to cut off this section, and then we could glue this over here. Oh, I'm getting very confused here. So, right. Let's just have a look. Oh, I knew this was a mistake trying to use one with a, oh, here we go. We can cut this section off. Yeah, right. Okay. That took a long time to fathom that out, didn't it? Right. Am I right in thinking that? Oh, then my pocket's going to be on this side. So then I'm losing this dog. Ah! I'm so sorry about this. This is making no sense. I think what I'm going to have to do is actually just have this dog upside down, but then just cover it up when I come to actually use it. Or cut that one off. Okay, so I might have to have... Right, okay. I'm going to have to lose that other dog, aren't I? So... Oh, I'm so sorry about this. Oh. I'm going to cut this one down. I know I was doing the assembly line style, but the reason I'm doing it is because I will forget how, you know, how I need to do this. And obviously, because this is a little bit on the complicated side, you know, I don't have, like, lots of options. It's kind of a, like, this is the only way I can get this to work. So, okay. Yeah. Okay, right, let's just keep that together. Tricky, tricky. Okay, right, this is also, again, from the Bird Rhapsody kit. So, again, just fold this one in half. Oh, honestly, I don't know whether it's because it's early in the morning. I also haven't had breakfast yet, and that's always a mistake. So, I might have to stop the video in a minute and actually go and have a bite to eat and then come back. So, hopefully, I will have a bit more brain power and be a little bit less scatty. So, yeah. Okay. So, again, just deciding which way round, you know, I want to have this. This one is, again, another one that could easily be... actually, I'm going to do this one this way. That could easily be portrait rather than landscape. So, I think I'm going to, yeah, do this one portrait rather than landscape. Yeah, and I'm going to just cut this section off here. No, I don't need to cut the sections off yet, do I? We said no. Right, this is a sneak peek of my new autumn kit that I have been working on. So hopefully I will get this in my shop pretty quickly because I realise obviously, you know, lots of people are going to want to start working on autumn things soon. So as you can see, this has got the very cute little fox with the pumpkins and it's got some little roses. So yeah, I've just literally nearly finished making this kit. Now I just need to snip this off slightly at the edge because I'd obviously printed something before on this and it had grabbed a piece of paper through, but I obviously didn't want to waste the paper. So yeah. Yeah, so this is almost finished and hopefully I will get it into my shop hopefully this week. It will just kind of see how my time goes. So, I mean, obviously the children aren't back to school yet. Well, yeah, my daughter's not back to school until a week today. My son, oh, don't know really what's going on with him yet. So my middle son, he had been doing his GCSEs, you know, recently, which are his kind of like end of school exams. He had been saying that he wanted to do A-levels, and he got his exam results, you know, yeah, last week, and now he's just done a U-turn and decided he doesn't now want to do A-levels, and that's absolutely fine. I don't have, you know, any problem with what he wants to do at all, but of course now we're kind of stumped with what he wants to do. I mean, he's going to be angry probably that I've told you all of this, but, you know, so what he'd done, unbeknown to me, he'd applied for a couple of jobs. And, yeah, one is an apprenticeship. I'm going to start cutting all of these while I'm rambling. So one was an apprenticeship. I'm going to come back to any that are causing me troubles, you know. One was an apprenticeship and one is a job. So he was offered the job. So the same day he got his exam results, which, you know, he did okay. I mean, obviously he's had a lot to be dealing with the divorce and things. So, you know, and he obviously had missed a year of school with the pandemic. So, you know, I think he did okay. And yeah, I mean, definitely given all what had been going on, I think, you know, he was, yeah, he did better than probably he had hoped for. So yeah, he did okay. And on the same day that his exam results came out, he also got offered the job that he had been for. Now, of course, this job, it's not an apprenticeship. It's just a job. And it's working in a call centre. But it's obviously quite a lot of money. You know, to him, it sounds a lot of money. Obviously, in reality, it's probably not really very much money. And that's how they're kind of luring these kids in, because, you know, they're kind of almost blackmailing them to take the job because it sounds such a lot of money. Sorry, I'm just fidgeting on my chair so that I can see down on this and make sure I'm punching kind of halfway down. They kind of get them in, you know, sucked in because of this lure. Oh my goodness, look at my thumb hole. That's awful, isn't it? I'm going to just trim this up on the edge so it doesn't look so off centre. Yeah, they lure them in with this kind of salary that sounds really, really great. And of course, you know, the thing is, he's not going to have a qualification in anything because it's just then he works in a call centre. I'm trying to kind of explain to him, well, look, and I'm, you know, I'm sure he gets it. I don't mean, you know, he doesn't understand. But of course, all he can keep going back to is that amount of money that he's been offered to work there. And I keep kind of saying, well, they're almost bribing you because, you know, okay, an apprenticeship would be a lot less money, but the difference is you will actually qualify as something, you know. So I should have really cut all of these without gluing them. So, yeah. Anyway, we have had lots of fallouts, obviously, since Thursday, and lots of discussions about it. Lots of rows. And, you know, I think he thinks that I'm, I don't know, trying to, you know, not you know, steal his thunder, but, you know, kind of, I'm not obviously being excited and supportive. You know, why aren't I really proud of him that he got this job? And of course I'm so proud of him. I mean, he should feel incredible. That's amazing. But I don't want him to make the wrong decision, which I fear he is going to. Right, I've just realised what I've been doing here. So, yeah, it's taken me all this time to realise. If I put it like that, I can cut this section off. Oh, why it's taken me so long to realise this, I have no idea. But anyway. So, of course, I'm not trying to, obviously, you know, ruin his life or, you know, not steal his, you know, but steal his joy away of obviously being offered this job. You know, he felt so proud of himself. He'd kind of been off in secret, didn't tell anyone, you know, was then offered this job. And of course, you know, I mean, he should be proud of himself. That's amazing. Oh, but I'm just so worried that he's going to now make the wrong decision. And, oh, it's so tough because trying to actually dissuade him from taking this job is near on impossible. Because, of course, he thinks it sounds fantastic, you know. So, yeah. Anyway, that's what's been going on in our house. And he also had been for an apprenticeship, you know, another job, which is an actual apprenticeship, which comes out with an actual qualification. And he's been in discussions with that man as well. Again, that doesn't sound like an ideal position, but you do come out with a qualification. The problem is, of course, that salary is half what they're offering for the call centre job. But I keep explaining, well, it's half that salary now, but in 5 years' time, you're going to actually have a decent qualification that you can then, you know, market yourself for another job. Therefore, that kind of, you know, halving the salary now, it will just outweigh itself very quickly, you know, because once you're qualified, you will have a really valuable skill that you can take anywhere. Oh, so I just really pray that he listens. And my son, my eldest son, you know, he obviously took the apprenticeship route and, you know, he's now almost qualified as an electrician. And, you know, he's obviously trying to dissuade him from taking this, you know, this call centre job as well. Oh, it's just one of those really tricky situations. But, you know, I mean, my sister said, well, you know, you can't live their life for them. You know, they're going to make their own mistakes. And whilst that's true, you know, you don't want them to make the wrong mistake. And, you know, when you can see right from the off that this is the wrong decision, you know, you can't just sit back and kind of watch them do it, can you? Because it's like, well, this is going to affect you for your whole life. You know, if you make the wrong choice now, you know, you're going to be struggling and trying to make ends meet. And, you know, that's not a good place to be, is it? So, who knows? Who knows whether he will actually listen and kind of decide that actually, you know, we've got a point, I suspect he won't. So, yeah, not a good scenario. But anyway, we managed to have a nice day yesterday. We went up to, you know, Bushy Park, and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago because we'd been up a couple of weeks ago for my auntie's kind of birthday, where we kind of all meet up and things. But once a year, the children and I, you know, obviously we used to do it with my husband as well, but we once a year go there as well. And we normally take our bikes and we have a really lovely day. So that was what we did yesterday. We normally do that for my birthday. This year we were away on my birthday, so we didn't really celebrate my birthday at all. We, you know, we literally kind of ignored it. So it was kind of in lieu of that, really. But yeah, but anyway, we had a really, really nice time. So yeah, and the weather was, it was okay. It was quite overcast, but it was very muggy. So, you know, it was, yeah, it was okay. Right, I'm going to quickly have some breakfast, and hopefully I will come back a little bit less scatty. Hold on. Sorry about that. I am back now. So I've had breakfast, had a drink. Hopefully I am a little bit more replenished. Who knows? Who knows? Right, we shall see. Right, so we were up to, obviously, the cutting of the pockets. Now, I did actually kind of consciously make the effort to not cut these until I've actually punched the holes together. So, yeah, like what I'd said that I've seen Rachel over at Roxy Creations doing. So, yeah, I've actually kind of made a conscious effort to do that. So, we're going to cut that down. And then I'm just going to cut along here, so it's the same width as this, because obviously I've cut this down now so that it would fit on a page. So I'm just going to, oops, trim that down here like that. Okay. And then we can just take this, put them together, and then punch them together at the same time. So that, oops, so that hopefully our thumb holes then are in the same spot. Oops. Lining up with each other. So yeah, finally remembered to do that. Okay, so I'm going to do that for all of them now, and then we'll just glue them all together. So hopefully we have kind of, you know, yeah, done this bit assembly line. Now, I hadn't really kind of thought about this, but these flowers are actually upside down on there. Although, to be honest, if I put the pocket on, you're actually not really going to notice that. So I'm just going to do that. Okay, so just again trim that up at the side. Okay, like that. And then let's just punch those holes. So the thumb hole holes, again, just lining that up, and then just doing the thumb hole together like that. So hopefully roughly in the middle. Not making a brilliant job of putting these in the middle today, it's got to be said, but you know, it's fine. I'm sure it will be fine. So this one, again, we want to do the same thing. Now, did I trim this down at the edge? I don't think I have. I mean, I could have this as a tall one, I suppose. Yeah, perhaps I'll have this as a tall one, because otherwise they're all kind of the same, aren't they? So I'm just going to trim this edge up because that's not looking very tidy. Okay, and then this we would have down here. So again, just going to then trim this up or down here like that. And then I'm just going to trim off this edge, which was just that slight fold, you know, from when I kind of folded it over. Okay, so yeah, aside from that, what else have we been doing? Not a lot, to be honest. Yeah, obviously it is the school holidays, but you know, because we'd gone away to you know, on the cruise, we'd kind of like done our holiday thing really. So you know, we've just been kind of chilling out at home and not really doing very much. My daughter went to a club last week for a couple of days, so that was quite good for her. It's a brilliant club, and unfortunately, oh, I've already glued that down there. Unfortunately, they, you know, there is, well, fortunately, it's very, very, very good value. Unfortunately, that obviously means it gets booked up very, 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 very quickly. And I am, you know, as you probably know, not the most organised person. So I kind of missed the initial, you know, flurry. when obviously people were getting their bookings in, and so subsequently kind of missed obviously a lot of availability. So all I could get for the whole summer holidays was literally 3 days last week. So yeah, it wasn't great. You know, great planning on my part. I should have been much more organised, but yeah, time just kind of got away from me. And then before I knew it, it was like, oh no, I must go on and book, you know, book some sessions for her. And yeah, of course they'd all gone, because it's very, very, very good value. You know, most kind of children's clubs and things, they're really expensive. This one is very, very cheap. So yeah, obviously it gets snapped up, you know, as soon as they put this sort of sessions on there. Now I have to bear in mind, I've gone over to the side slightly on this, so I've tried to do that deliberately now on this one, so it sort of marries up with the top. Yeah, so anyway, she went to the club for a couple of days last week, and she had a sleepover with her cousin. He came to stay one night because he was also at the club. So one of the nights, you know, he actually came back and had a sleepover. So then I took them both down to the club the next day, which, you know, that was kind of fun and nice for them, a bit of a sort of treat. So yeah, they had a good time. They were very well behaved and good. And it was brilliant because actually, you know, obviously if he's here, they're kind of busy doing stuff. So I was able to actually, you know, really work on that autumn kit, which was fantastic. Yeah, Thursday, like I say, was kind of zapped up with my middle son with his job fiasco. Well, not fiasco, but, you know, job kind of quandary, which he's still in and we're still having. Yeah, I don't really know what else we've actually been doing, to be honest. Nothing very exciting, that's for sure. And then, of course, this week, we're just going to be busy getting ready to go back to school because, you know, it's just come around so quickly. Although, to be honest, I will be pleased to actually get back into routine and be able to kind of get on top of things, because I've got a lot of things that I really do need to do, and of course haven't been able to really do because, you know, with the best will in the world, you can't kind of settle down to things when you know you're going to be interrupted at any moment, can you? Right, this was the one that I left because I was still thinking, how am I going to stick this down? So I'm wondering whether if I fold it like this, does this benefit me at all? Let's have a look. Aha! No. I thought, aha, it does. And no, I've now looked at it. No, it doesn't. Oh, gosh, what's wrong with me? Right. Fold it like this again. What if we had it like no? Somewhere along the line, you know, one side or the other side is going to be upside down. So I'd probably prefer the cover was upside down because I would probably decorate the front. Whereas the inside I will probably leave... yeah, I will probably leave the inside more for decorating. Just thinking, should we have it this way up? Maybe this way. Yeah. Okay, right. Got there eventually. Yeah. So just trim this down here. Yeah, so this week I'll just be busy kind of, you know, buying school uniform, you know, making sure we've got like food in for, you know, the sandwiches and the packed lunch and things like that. I mean, it is only her. Well, I don't know whether it's only her, obviously, because my son is deliberating what he's going to be doing, whether he's, you know, whether he's going to be going to school. I mean, I've kind of said to him, I think he should go to school and start his A-levels, continue looking for an apprenticeship whilst he's doing his A-levels. Then if he finds one, that's fantastic. If he doesn't, then, you know, no worries. He's doing his... I just thought I'd try this and see how that would look to mix up the papers. Yeah, I mean, then it's no big deal, is it? He can then just kind of, you know, do it in his own time. And then if he finds something in the meantime whilst he's doing his A-levels, then that's fine. If he doesn't, then he's still doing something, isn't he? Because he's still then doing his A-levels. So we shall see. We shall see whether he takes my advice. I'm terrified that he's not going to. No, but you just... you can't tell these youngsters, can you? Because, of course, they think they know everything. And, you know, they kind of think that you're trying to just, I don't know, ruin their fun, or I don't know what they think. But, you know, they never kind of just trust that actually you might have had kind of similar sort of things happen in your life that you have learnt from and think, well, I wish I hadn't done that. I don't want you to make the same mistake. But of course, they don't want to hear that, do they? So we shall see. And yeah. So I don't know whether he'll be going back to school. If he is, obviously that will be in a different sort of context because, of course, doing A-levels, it's not like he'll be there all day, every day. We shall see. He would be there, I mean, possibly every day, but probably just, maybe a couple of hours here, a couple of hours there. I'm not really too sure. Obviously, they haven't released timetables or anything. So we'll have to wait and see, but yeah. Right, I'm going to glue all of these together now, so. Oops. Yeah, anyway, so time will tell what he decides. I shall be no doubt moaning about it next week's mass making, so. I can't believe that we are actually September already. I mean, how quickly has this year gone? I mean, I do think the years just get quicker and quicker and quicker, don't they, all the time? Okay. I mean, funnily enough, I just stumbled across some old pictures of my youngest son. So my daughter's 8, and my middle son, youngest son, he's 16 now. And I stumbled across these pictures of him. I mean, he must have been like, I don't know, 2, perhaps 18 months old, 2, maybe 3. I don't know. There were a few pictures and kind of they spanned across, a few different occasions. So perhaps he was 18 months to 3, if you see what I mean. Like different ages and different pictures. But, oh, he was such a cute little boy. He was such a cute sort of baby. I mean, I'm not sure whether you class them as a baby when they're that sort of age, but I kind of do. But yeah, he was so cute. And it's just weird when you look at those pictures and just think, where has that time gone? How can he possibly be, 16? He's now left school. I mean, where has that time gone? It's just absolutely shocking. And I know that so many of you lovely ladies out there, you comment and, kind of say to me how old your children are and things. And, oh, it's just flabbergasting, isn't it? And you just think, oh, where's that time gone? It's scary, to be honest. Absolutely scary. Oh, and thank you so much to the lovely ladies who sometimes inquire how my little nephew is doing. Well, I don't know whether he is my nephew, to be honest. He's my nephew's child. I'm never very good with working out what relative that actually makes him of mine. He's probably like I don't know whether he would be my great nephew or I don't know, but he's my nephew's child anyway. And yeah, he was the one who was born. Oh, again, I'm really shocking with dates and things, so I'm actually not too sure when he was born now. I think he's about 6 months old. 6 months or 7 months. Again, the time's just gone so quick, it's hard to keep track. But anyway, thank you so much to those lovely ladies who do sometimes inquire, how he's doing. Because he was, of course, the little baby who, when he was born, he had like a heart defect, I suppose. And so they knew that from the scan. And they, they weren't even able to hold him. He had to be whisked. Well, I think I can't remember whether they were able to hold him, but if they were, it was very, very brief. And he was whisked straight away to, an incubator. And then they operated on him. Oh, excuse me. So I'm so sorry about that noise. My daughter's now banging about in the hall. Yeah, they operated on him. Kind of major heart surgery, like when he was, I think he was 10 days old. I've got this funny feeling he was 10 days old. And, obviously we were all so worried about him. Well, he's so thriving. I mean, touch wood, he is absolutely, touch wood, fingers crossed, absolutely fine now. You would never even know that he had endured that, that ordeal when he was first born. And he's such a happy, smiley little chap. And, oh, he's very, very cute. Now, I have to say, I'm not really the best, person when it comes to babies. So often I don't really hold other people's babies or anything because I generally just make them cry, to be honest. But I have had a cuddle with him, and would you believe, have not made him cry. I think I've had a cuddle with him a couple of times actually, and neither time have I made him cry. So yeah, he's all good in my books from that point of view. So yeah, shockingly, you know, got on all right with him. Yeah, so he's absolutely thriving. Little Vincent, his name is. So touch wood, he's, you know, he's absolutely fine. I don't know really what the, you know, sort of follow-up care is. I can't remember whether they said, you know, of course he will have to have like routine kind of checkups, and they won't know until a bit later on whether he needs any further procedures doing. I can't remember whether that was what they said. I think that's what they said. So yeah, it may be that obviously, you know, he might need something more as he gets older, but I mean, touch wood, hopefully not. But he's doing brilliantly at the moment. So yeah, that's kind of all absolutely, you know, fantastic. So right, let's get the last one glued up together. There we go. Oh, what did I watch the other day? I watched, oh gosh, what was it called? I think it was called The Secret. It was on, I think it was on something called Freevee. Now, I don't know what Freevee is. It seems to have suddenly appeared on my Fire Stick. I think it's like a free channel that you get to watch things for free, but they have adverts in. Or it could have been on Netflix. I don't know, I'm afraid, but I access it via my Fire Stick, and it was called The Secret. It was with the guy from Cold Feet. Is his name James Nesbitt? It was with him. It was based on a true story. Yeah, it was. I think it was a 4-part little sort of drama. It was quite good. I would recommend probably watching that. It was, yeah, it was quite entertaining, quite good. So that's all that I've watched really. Right, let's see how many we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've done 8, which I think is pretty good going. So let's decorate one up. Now, just having a look around my desk to see what I've got here. I've got some snippet rolls and things which just are laying around. So of course it kind of makes sense to just pull in some bits that I've got laying around, doesn't it? So we could do this one, or I rather liked this one with the blue on the blue. Yeah, I think I like that one best. So I think let's go for that. And now, do we want anything like a little flower or something to the side? That looks rather nice, doesn't it? Got some of these little notepad thingies from the Taperology stuff. So let's just ink this up. Yeah, so that was quite good. I haven't watched anything else. What else? What else have I done? Nothing. Oh, I had a bowl of porridge the other day. That was my dinner. It was a bowl of porridge. And yeah, I haven't had porridge for ages. I don't know about you guys, but you know, I really, really love porridge. And it's one of those things that I go through phases, you know, and I have it like a lot. And then I don't really have it for ages. But the kids have it quite often. Not my daughter, actually. She's not a great porridge lover. But the boys, they really like porridge. And so quite often, you know, I'll be kind of in the kitchen and they'll, you know, put their porridge in the microwave and I can smell it and it just smells scrumptious. So the other night I thought, oh gosh, you know, I actually didn't really have anything much in the cupboard, you know, to have to eat. And I'd cooked for the children and, you know, they all eat meat. So, of course, then I was like, oh, what shall I have? And, yeah, I mean, I've just got out of the zone really, and, you know, kind of food just isn't really doing it for me at the moment. So, I didn't really know what to have. And I thought, oh, well, I'm just going to have, you know, a bowl of porridge. Oh, my goodness, it was so lovely. And I just thought, oh, how I forget, you know, how much I love porridge. So yeah, I just had it with, I had a big spoonful of peanut butter, you know, so that I had obviously some protein in there. I mean, I think I'm right in saying porridge is protein anyway. So, you know, that was kind of protein-y anyway. And then I had, what else did I have? Honey. I had some coconut sugar and then I had a banana chopped over it. I think that was it. Yeah, I think that was it. Oh my goodness, it was so scrumptious. So I actually had that for about 3 nights on the trot because it was so lovely. And it was obviously hassle-free, and it just required like no thought whatsoever. It was just like, oh, I'm just going to have porridge again. So yeah, that's what I've been eating lately. Honestly, what a rubbish diet, but how boring. Probably people think how boring she is. She's just having porridge for her dinner. But it was just one of those, you know, really lovely things that when I had it, I thought, oh, I've forgotten how much I loved having porridge. Right, thinking maybe just at the top and maybe keep the bottom free. I don't know, it's got to be said whether that's the right lace. It's quite thick, that lace. Let me just see whether I've got some thinner. Oh, here we go. I have got some thinner lace, which might just be a bit better. Okay. Maybe down here. Oops. Okay. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah. I think that lace is just a bit better. The other one's quite thick and didn't quite kind of match the more delicate look of the piece, did it? So, yeah, I think this one just looks slightly better. Okay. Right, I'm just going to quickly pop the lace down a little bit with the glue, the wet glue. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do today. Bank holiday, obviously. I think the weather's going to be okay. So, yeah, who knows? Probably just end up, I don't know, going to my mum's, probably. Probably see my sister there and maybe go to the beach or something from there. Although, now I've said that, the weather actually looks like it's deteriorating, so I'll have to double check. I mean, I think it is supposed to be quite nice. Whether or not it's actually beach weather, I'm not sure. But, yeah, it's okay. It's not looking too bad out there so far. Right. Okay. And I think just have a little flower there or to the side here. I'm actually wondering whether I could get away with a bigger flower. So let's just pull in a bigger one. Oops. Oh, what about a blue one? Oh, that's really pretty. Yeah. Let me just see. I might need to layer that up with a couple of the blue flowers there. Oh my goodness, how scrummy does that look? That is so pretty, isn't it? I love those colours together. You know, just this, oops, just the pink with that blue. Although it's kind of unexpected, it looks really scrumptious, doesn't it? Oh, and thank you so much to everyone who's given me tips on the gel plate. Now, that video, I have to be honest, was filmed a really long time ago. But I have got another video coming up with the gel plate, which I'll probably put up on Wednesday. And then I don't actually know whether I've played with it since then. I'm not sure whether I have. I'll have to, yeah, I'll have to look through my videos. But, yeah, it's probably time that I actually get it back out again. It's one of those things, it does sort of scare me slightly, the gel plate. It's kind of just outside my comfort zone, and yeah, I probably definitely have to be in the mood to, you know, to play with it. But it is sort of not scary, but you know, it's just one of those kind of way out of my comfort zone, so just makes me kind of a bit nervous really. But yeah, thank you so much for the lovely tips, because obviously, you know, when you're doing something that actually is outside your comfort zone, you can never have enough kind of good tips and things, can you? So yeah, thank you very much. But I mean, I do quite like playing it when, you know, playing with it when I do. Oh, I forgot that I glued that down now. I do quite like playing with it when I do. Oh, I think that looks good. And these are just my labels. That particular label, I think, is from Labels Set 2. So yeah, I might have to dig it out again and just have a bit more of a play with it, because who knows, maybe just from having a breather, perhaps my techniques would have been, you know, improved slightly. I don't know. There we go. And this. Sorry, I now have a wipe stuck on the side of my glue gun that it's just picked up, obviously, during the course of doing this video. Okay. Ah, get off of my glue gun. Okay. Right, and then just see, just put a pink. Do we think that's better without a centre? Sometimes I quite like the flowers just literally without a centre. I know that probably sounds a bit on the peculiar side, but yeah, sometimes I actually think they look good just as they are. I think that is one of those cases, isn't it? And then here, I'm just going to literally paint that with some coffee. So I've got some coffee up on my shelf. Oh, it's seen better days, it's got to be said. Let me just wipe that off because it's looking a bit messy now. Hold on. Oh gosh, my brush is, yeah, not looking very good. It's got paint all over the top. Sorry, I'm just trying to wipe my brush off so that I can then actually paste some coffee down onto this. So, okay, right. Okay. So, yeah, this is just some coffee that I've had in a cup here. Can just paint that on. And then obviously when that's dried, then that's a nice coffee dye finish for that. So, there we go. I might just even go over there as well. Like that. Okay. And then that's literally done. That's all there is to that. So, yeah, I really hope that you like them. I think they're quite quite a cute pocket, aren't they? And, I mean, actually, we didn't do badly because there's quite a bit of steps to them. But we actually did make, I think we said 8, didn't we? So I think that's pretty, you know, pretty good considering how many little fiddly, parts there are to making them. So, yeah, I hope you like them. And, yeah, like I say, my autumn kit, hopefully I'm going to get out later this week. So keep your eye out if you're, you know, waiting for the autumn kit. Hopefully it's going to be out in the next few days. And, yeah, thank you so much for watching. And I hope you all have a fantastic day. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.